Welcome back to ChiroThon 2022. Absolutely excited because why? We are now nearing our goal, and it's because of all of you out there that are donating to ChiroThon to spread the benefits of chiropractic care around the globe. And we couldn't do it without the amazing and generous sponsorship of our corporate sponsors, one of which today is Standard Process. We are absolutely inviting a lot of nutrition into our world. And I want to talk first about our sponsor, because I think as you get to know what happens in the world of chiropractic, you're going to see how entwined nutrition and chiropractic is. So let's talk about Standard Process. We know it's a family-owned, third-generation company that is a leader in making whole food-based supplements since 1929. From the company's certified organic farm in Palmero, Wisconsin, to its headquarters in Kannapolis, North Carolina, Standard Process is committed to providing clinical science that advances health and changes lives through whole-based nutrition. That's one of the pieces of how we get what we need when it's whole-based nutrition. It has a regenerative farming practices, which is very important as it advances manufacturing technologies designed to protect the vital nutrients found in each ingredient. One last thing, an important thing about Standard Process, is that it produces both the raw materials and more than 300 high-quality supplements in its certified organic manufacturing. If you have questions about Standard Process, you're more than welcome to look them up, standardprocess.com, and we know there's lots of chiropractors that use Standard Process. And we're talking high quality today, which is why we have Dr. Kimberly Besueden, an absolute nutritional and effective athlete. I absolutely had to have a great time with her just talking and chatting, and I found out that she is a chiropractor who really does walk the talk, not just kind of saying, okay, I'm going to adjust you and we're going to do some nutrition for you, but you've done what many chiropractors sometimes forget, which is self-care. You got to get out there and you got to be able to do the hard work. So let's introduce you to our audience out there. Clearly a champion in her own athletic right, a champion of nutrition, and importantly, she is setting the stage for self-care, getting your own chiropractic care. If you're out there right now as a chiropractor and you're not getting adjusted, we get it. If you're out there as a consumer and you want to learn about nutrition, there is no better than what I have in front of me right now. Kimberly brings 25 years of skilled alternative healthcare to this training table. She combines her passion for wellness by bringing balance in the way of chiropractic. She has been known to win a few awards, and if I actually went through all of them, we'd be here till tonight. But one of them is Clinician of the Year that was awarded to her at graduation from Life University in Georgia. Congratulations. She is a 1982 graduate of Purdue University. Yes. Very nice. Thank you. And she was trained as an educator and has had multiple influences in her own life on just physical activity and being able to promote that functional medicine as well. I think you're a model to the entire profession of what to do for you. Knowing that you're a lifestyle advocate and walking the talk, being able to care for yourself and still being writing. She does writing, author, publisher. I mean, you're doing a lot. Start with our audience, since you do a great deal of nutrition and functional medicine. Can you tell our audience, why is nutrition important for the chiropractic office?
Well, for our office, nutrition is the most important thing because I can adjust a patient all day long, but they won't hold their adjustment if they're not getting the nutrients they need. And most of the patients are in that SAD diet range, so we know that they're not getting the nutrients, and it's just a windfall for the practice for patients and doctors all.
When a patient comes in and you know that they're not really thinking about their diet, because a lot of them come in with pain and we know that, they're not thinking about their diet, and you start talking to them about nutrition, what are some of the things that you see really helping the patient on the nutrition level with their chiropractic adjustments?
Well, we start with education. So I teach classes. I teach them how to do a detoxification program, which lets me educate them, let them know that I know about the nutrients. So once we do that, then they get engaged. We use very specific nutrients. We use a lot of fish oil. I'm a big fan of turmeric, especially a turmeric that's bound with fenugreek seed because it stays bioavailable. It helps reduce inflammation. I use a product that does, it's multi, plus it has bone, ligament, joint, muscle support. So it's like just a 1-2 punch for the patients. So they have a good base of nutrients right there. And then we go further if they have other things that are happening in their body. And then we can sit down and have a nice conversation. And they know that if I do tell them what to do, they know I'm doing it myself. So it makes it easier for them to grasp that.
That's important. And this is why I really wanted this interview, is nutritional supplements are very important, and we know that. I mean, eat a chocolate bar for breakfast, you're going to know right away. This was not the best choice. However, one thing that really does make a difference is the combination of what you do throughout the day. And you have and are doing that work. I want you to take me to a place of your own day. And if you could talk to our audience about your own personal journey into athletics and what you've been up to lately.
So I used a standard process when I was first competing. I was a powerlifter, and when we got tested by the United States Olympic Committee, if you take something that was not in the groove of that, it could be thrown out of competition. So I used standard process in that place, and then I learned to use it all through the time I was an athlete, still using it. And so now as an athlete, I get up early in the morning. I'm a big early riser, intermittent fasting, start my day with protein and usually a vegetable-based protein shake like that standard process has. But I really practice what I preach. Once I start working, I supplement throughout the day, supplement things for my brain. I'm also an aging athlete, so I'm in that 64, almost 65 range. So I'm looking at longevity as well. So I take a lot of things that probably most patients would look at and say, why do I have to take that? I'm taking things now because I don't want to be sitting in a wheelchair, drooling on myself when I'm 90. I want to be active like I'm doing right now.
I love that. That is really one of the things that we noticed when we kicked off ChiroThon. One of the fellows that was there said, if I knew I would live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. And that, I think, is one of the things many of you out there are thinking, I have a functional body and I really do need to take better care of myself. I will tell you that the last 2 years have been difficult on everyone. The FCA, the National, being at this fabulous convention, has told us one thing, and that one thing is this: life's not easy. It's what choices are you making that will make it easier on your body and help you move through that. And I know, for example, a lot of patients will in fact depend on opiates for pain. Can you talk to our audience about someone who is in pain and some of the research and nutrition that can be involved in helping the audience?
Absolutely. I just reviewed a white paper on the use of a hemp oil complex that Standard Process has out. It has hemp oil, it has omega-3 fatty acid or fish oil, also has broccoli. So those three things were combined. They had a double-blind study. So they had 25 people. They split them up. 12 of those people got the hemp oil complex and an adjustment. So they had 15 milligrams of hemp oil a day with one adjustment a week for 12 weeks. The other had a control study where they had a placebo and they had the adjustment. So they measured and they did a baseline with the pain control, and they also did blood markers for inflammation. And in the first 6 weeks, there was almost double the reduction of pain in the hemp oil group, and then in 12 weeks it was almost exponential. And then the blood markers, that's what sold it for me, is just the blood markers, because I'm like, you got to prove this stuff to me. A pain scale is good, but when they put the blood markers in there and showed that it actually managed the reactive oxidant species, I mean, right there is your antioxidant pathway. So it really shows how doing a combination of not only chiropractic, because that's what we do, and combining nutrition, like through that hemp oil complex, we can not only help the patient through chiropractic, but we can also reduce inflammation, which is key in this time and day.
It absolutely is, and we've seen in the news that they're starting to recognize if in fact you're taking some anti-inflammatories, synthetics that the pharmaceutical companies are offering, it can actually mask some of the pain, but put you in a chronic pain level. And I think that's really important when we start talking about nutrition, talking about medications,
Right.
and moving a patient to flexibility and mobility. And you noted earlier that an aging athlete needs support. Can you give our audience some of the benefits that you've seen when you watch your patients kind of grow with the knowledge that you're presenting about mobility, stability, and flexibility, and really just vitalizing their life?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the key things I give to patients is fish oil because of the longevity and the neuroinflammation that will help reduce. But just giving them the supplementation help them to, they live better, they move better, they breathe better, they sleep better. They're more viable, active humans as they age. And the three things that I always ask patients, and they're always like, well, I eat well, and I do exercise every day, and I do something to give back. That's how I live so long. But that eating well in part always talks about some type of nutrition. They can't get it in all the food that they eat, so we have to supplement somehow. We do vitamin D, we do things for the brain like RNA to really prevent that, to promote the brains. Also, we do a fish oil, and then a good multi and a trace mineral B12. And then with all the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories patients we're using, we then have to go in and support things like stomach, because we know that the microbiome and the brain work so closely together that that is another inflammatory pathway that needs to be worked on.
I like what you say because it all makes sense. And we just had LaShawn Merritt on. To be an Olympic champion means you have to be at your very best level. I mean, to be an 8-time medalist is in and of itself hard to believe. But after talking to him and almost seeing the mechanics of how he moves, as you start to age, what most don't recognize is, well, before we even done this vignette, you're going to be a little older. That's unfortunate, but we're all
Correct.
going there, which means our balance is being challenged. And what have you seen with chiropractic that helps an aging adult that you know is going to be changing their balance strategy?
Absolutely, just showing them simple things like stretching exercises, we do, and the adjustment itself. I mean, bottom line, DCs, that's what we do. We adjust the patient, bottom line, number one. Everything else is to support the body, but doing balance activities, using a vibe plate, walking, running, bicycling. We just had the Senior Olympics down in Fort Lauderdale, and it's amazing to see these 90-year-old people doing these activities with fervor, and you have to see the 60-year-old or 50-year-old patients walking around that can't even move. So just really incorporating that activity, that lifestyle, and making it a lifestyle, I think is probably the most important thing.
It really is. And the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress is here to really promote the benefits of chiropractic care around the globe. And we're here at the FCA, the National. One of the important topics that we've been talking about is mental health. And mental health has many components, but I know you've seen patients over the last 2 years, COVID, pandemic, opioid and epidemic. Last question for you, and I know it's a big one. Since we have had some pretty tough times, and we know that life can throw curveballs at any moment, tell me, in your experience, maybe your own personal experience or a patient experience, how did chiropractic and possibly some of those challenges come together as a opportunity of growth and to offer help and stability?
Well, during COVID, our office really, we didn't just survive, we thrived, because we took the time to send patient emails every day. Instead of being told what we couldn't do, we told them what they could do. We incorporated an exercise they could do every day, some education on a supplementation that's going to support their immune system or their health, and then doing something to give back or plant a seed or do something outside to ground them and make them feel well. Teaching them to chakra breathe, teaching them what the benefits of a vitamin D supplementation would be if it's a whole food based, how it can really help modulate the immune system, telling them not to do so much sugar, not so much alcohol, and really supporting the body by those pathways so that they got through if they did get sick, they thrive through that.
You mentioned something very important, and I want to reflect to the audience that she never left the side of the patient. And I will tell you, in this entire convention, that's really what makes chiropractic so special. We love our patients. And traveling across the country back and forth, trying to make a difference in an opioid epidemic, is that we want you to feel cared about on a holistic level. We're by your side, we walk the walk, we talk the talk. We want to support you from a functional movement perspective all the way through to a nutritional. When we balance them all together, as you have seen the entire weekend, from athletes to celebrities that we had recently to entertainers, one of the major accomplishments that this ChiroThon has done is bring us closer together. And I hope those that are watching virtually feel our love from FCA Orlando and know that we are just a moment away to help you every day. You need a chiropractor, you can find a chiropractor, and you can go to find a doctor at f4cp.org/find a doctor. We will be here for you. Now, you know, ChiroThon is right behind me. We're making a major investment in helping a small minority of people getting chiropractic care to be the vast majority. When chiropractic comes into a life, it is the chiropractic lifestyle that we actually get out of it. So we want the entire nation to not get sick care, but to in fact start investing in health care. And that's what chiropractic is about, spreading the benefits of chiropractic care. So there's a little button at the very bottom that says donate. Your investment today will go a long way, helping aging adults, helping pregnant moms with back pain, all the way through the gamut. Your help today will make a major difference. Thank you sincerely for joining ChiroThon 2022. Your donation will enter you into a raffle, and we are going to wrap this amazing ChiroThon 2022 up tomorrow with a raffle. Don't miss it. You're not going to know if you won unless you join. So meet me back here tomorrow morning, 9:40 Eastern Standard Time, to celebrate, elevate, and really support the most fabulous profession on earth, chiropractic. Thank you.